From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the George Camel Show on YouTube. That's Camel with a K. Very popular show. As well as, of course, the Smart Money Happy Hour, co-host with Rachel Cruz. He's my co-host today. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Kathy starts this hour off in Indianapolis. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Oh, I'm trying to get there on your level. I am calling today to ask you guys kind of what you think my next steps might be. I've gotten myself into quite the mess. I have followed all of the rules of never opening a credit card in my life. I'm 27, and I've made it this far without one, and I've kind of gotten to a point where I am desperate enough that I have been riding the line of wanting to open one this week because of all of my debt problems that I'm having.
Yeah, debt problems are always solved by more debt. What do you mean?
So I've kind of gotten myself into a predicament with bills that are owed, and my shovel is not nearly big enough, and I feel like I'm running myself into the ground trying to do side hustles. And I just graduated in June and started as a hairstylist, and the money is just not there like I thought it was going to be. And I know you kind of have to get clientele and build up your marketing and all that stuff. And after I signed my apartment lease, I found out that I was pregnant. So I'm 6 months into that journey now, and I have bitten off way more than I can chew as far as what I can afford.
Okay. What does your husband make?
I'm not married.
Oh, okay. All right. Where is the father in the picture?
Financially not. He is excited about the baby and all of that good stuff, but financially not contributing at all.
Well, I guess I'll just start there. He really doesn't have that option, morally or legally. If you father a child in the United States of America, you get to pay child support. That's how that works. So, sorry, Bubba. You get to step up and participate in the financial side of the equation. Why, does he not work, or is he just a twerp? It's more. I think it's more of a laziness problem. If I'm speaking from my own, own perspective. So you have an apartment rent. You're not making any money. Are you behind on your apartment rent?
Yes.
How far?
At the moment, 15 days, and they're wanting to file eviction paperwork today.
After 15 days. Pretty hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is this your first time missing a payment?
Yes, it is. And that's, I think, why I'm in panic mode.
You mean you've never been late, and after 15 days they're filing eviction?
Correct. Yep, and they said that that's just their policy, I guess. I don't really know how to fight that part of it.
Yeah, it may take 4 months or something in Indianapolis. I don't know. That may be why they go ahead and get started. I don't know what the law is there, but you need to find that out, okay? Because fear of the unknown is more fearful than fear of the known. So you need to find out what the law is in the area, how long it's going to take them to evict you, and what what you can do to make that right. How much is your apartment rent?
It is $1,500 a month.
Okay, and what are you making with hair?
Just with hair is probably about $1,200 a month.
Okay, so and what about other side hustles?
Side hustles included, I've been able to pull about $2,500.
Okay, and you didn't pay your rent. What did you pay instead?
I have a car payment that I pay monthly.
How much is it?
It is $250.
Okay, is it current?
No, it is not.
Oh, so you didn't pay yet either. What did you pay?
So I have paid my Wi-Fi bills, my electricity, all of my utilities are up to date.
Well, you made $3,700. Where did it go? I mean, I understand $500 of that may be going towards those basic bills.
Oh, no. The total of all of my income is $2,500 a month.
Oh, okay. So you make $1,300 with the side hustles.
Correct.
Got it. But that's still a big chunk of change that is unexplained.
Yes, and I think part of it is probably the trade-off with some of those side hustles. So I've been doing a lot of things with my car. So here in the last 30 days is really when it has absolutely crashed. And I think this is kind of just a rough patch for me because I've been able to keep up. But here in the last 30 days, it's just been kind of a disaster, and I've fallen behind in the last 30 days.
Okay. Here's the thing. You have to find a way to make actual money net of expenses. So driving your car around with DoorDash and making no net profit on the DoorDashing doesn't make sense if that's what's happening after you pay your car expenses, right? Like gas, okay? So you might be better off doing something else. But $1,300 on side hustles tells me you're not working much.
I feel like I am not really sure how the money turnaround isn't working out. I am constantly working as far as those side hustles go, definitely. I know things have flipped as far as building my hair business and trying to get clients in through the door with that. And I've heard that this is a slow season for that anyway because it's been back to school. But
how many hours are you cutting hair?
I would say probably about 30 hours a week.
Yeah. And you're working about another 20 hours a week. So you've got another 20 hours you need to be working a week. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Except for the part that you're 6 months pregnant, which makes this very difficult. I do realize that. But we've got to change, like you mentioned, the shovel equation. Then the second equation we have to change is the prioritization. Okay? The first thing you buy is food. The second thing you buy is lights and water. The third thing you buy is rent. The fourth thing you buy is car payment. So you make enough right now to, and I don't know what you're netting on that side hustle, but you make enough gross coming in to have been current with everything if you had it properly prioritized. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Okay, so what we've got to do in this crisis situation is we have to figure out where we can come up with $1,500 the fastest from all sources and new sources, what we can sell and what you can go do from there. How old are you?
27.
Okay. Well, Kathy, it sounds like you're alone and pregnant and scared. You're putting on a pretty chipper face, but if I were in your shoes, I can imagine the terror I'd be feeling. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up a Ramsey coach to help you as my gift because I've been 27 and scared, and I know how it feels. And tell Bubba, if he's going to make a baby, he gets to pay. That's how this crap works. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today. George, Sharon and I was going to say Rachel and I. Rachel was a baby, but Sharon and I learned the hard way, and then we later translated it to counseling, financial counseling, because we were working with people that were struggling when we first started this place. We still work with people that are struggling around this place. To go back to what we called an 8th grade civics lesson. Now, they don't have civics in the 8th grade anymore, but they taught us the difference between needs and wants, necessities. And the basic necessities of life are food, shelter, clothing, transportation, utilities. These are the basic necessities. So if you find yourself in a pinch where you can't pay everything that is on the kitchen table piled up in the form of bills, you take care of the things in that order. Food first, shelter second. Because if you've eaten and you have a place to sleep, you live to fight another day. If you're hungry, you don't have a place to sleep, you got all kinds of other issues here that have got nothing to do with MasterCard or student loans. Okay? So food is first, shelter second, utilities are third. So we've got a warm place to stay. Then we take care of transportation. And by the way, probably don't need to buy any clothing. You probably got enough. You're probably like enough people. You got enough for 7 people. You know, you don't even wear half the stuff in your closet anyway. So you're okay on clothing. Shut up. So you got the basic necessities. We call that building the 4 walls of a house, meaning that you take care of the necessities first before you do anything else. And then you will seldom get behind on those key things that cause financial stress to become sheer terror. Eviction, repossession, lights turned off, no food in the refrigerator turns financial stress into sheer terror. But most people, if they're able-bodied and can work, can take care of at least those basic things.
As long as you've got income. And then the question becomes, well, Dave, what do I do when I've got all these debt payments to pay? Well, that's the
next step.
It's going to go to collections.
No, that's the next step. But you're going to be fed and dry and warm.
And the collections people are aggressive. So you got to tell them, listen, I got nothing to give you.
They cannot make you hungry, though. Only you can choose to make you hungry if you're working and have an income. Only you can choose to make you homeless if you're working and have an income. Most people can earn enough to keep those 4 things going if the worst of worst jobs. Even if you're working horrible, $8 an hour or something and working 80 hours of that, you can keep the lights on, so to speak, the wolf away from the door. But now MasterCard may get all bent out. Well, so what? It didn't pay my student loans. Well, welcome to America. Nobody pays them, apparently. Oh, my God. So whatever, right? So we'll get back to those things. I don't want to ignore them forever. But the first step to getting a sustainable thing is the 4 walls. And that's what our last caller before the break needed to hear a month ago.
Yeah. It's a sad situation. You don't want it to get to that point, but a good reminder and lesson for those out there.
Our question of the day is sponsored by Neighborly, your hub for home services. When a disaster like flood or fire strikes, Neighborly's Rainbow Restoration offers homeowners full restoration services, plus mold remediation, carpet cleaning, odor removal, and more. Download the Neighborly app to find Rainbow Restoration services near you.
Today's question comes from Joseph in Ohio. Buckle up, Dave. Here we go. I'm looking into financing a boat to use like a house.
Oh my God.
I know and understand your normal rules for buying a house, ideally 20% or more down, less than 25% of take-home pay, 15-year fixed. And I know and understand the normal thoughts on buying a boat as a toy, depreciating asset, cash only, value no more than 50% of yearly income when combined with all other depreciating assets. Wow, this guy really knows your stuff, Dave. Mm-hmm. What I'm wondering is how out of line or not I would be if I combined those two into a houseboat, if I adjusted the formulas and compensated for the discrepancies properly. The compensating factors I'm thinking about are buying something used with most of the depreciation already absorbed and financing with a higher down payment over a much shorter timeline. The boat will have some depreciation as opposed to a house, but if I compensate with extra savings, my thoughts are that this could work out similarly. As I know you would ask, I'm currently 100% debt-free and have a fully funded emergency fund. Okay, a lot to unpack there, emotionally and financially. But Joseph is saying, should I buy a houseboat and can I do it with debt because I'm treating it like I'm getting a mortgage on a home?
Joseph, a boat is a trailer that floats. It goes down in value. You could buy a fully depreciated mobile home and make the same argument, but it would still be a dumb 10-year plan. I love boats. Son, in Ohio, that'll be cold in the winter. Really freaking cold living on the lake. Whew, I can't imagine. I like the lake too, but I'm not living on the lake in the winter. Not in a boat. Oh, God, you freeze your butt off. And it's going down in value. And here's the thing. 10 years from today, where do you end up? If you'll stretch these things out past Friday in your analysis, the answers start to become pretty apparent. So when you buy a mobile home, you stretch it out 10 years, you take a $70,000 double wide. What's it worth in 10 years? 20. What's it worth 10 years after that? Zip, right? And so if you buy a car, what's it worth in 10 years? Going down in value. You buy a boat, what's it worth? Well, you buy an RV. You can do the same thing. I've had people ask the same question about an RV. We always wanted to retire and travel the world in an RV. Well, that's great. Pay cash for the freaking RV. It's a toy. And don't call it your house and justify a huge payment on it, because you know what a 2-year-old RV is. Depreciated heavily. Hello. So, I mean, they go down in value so fast. That's what Winnebago is actually Native American Indian language for
really?
Depreciating. It's actually what it means.
I'm going to have to look that one up. I got to fact check you on that one.
That's
I'll
what it
buy
means.
it.
It means down in value. God. That's what it means. In the ancient tribes.
I didn't know you were well versed in the tribal languages, Dave. You never cease to impress me.
The things I get myself into. I'm trying to figure out how to say that in a way that I didn't get sued. But anyway, good luck with that. So, no,
this would be
Joseph,
similar to saying, I want to live in an RV. I'm going to take out a mortgage on it.
I don't care if you get you a boat, honey, but pay cash for it, and don't try to say it's the same thing as a house. And please don't try to say it's the same thing as a house and a car combined. You really got boat fever bad. He went to a party on a houseboat last week, and now he's figured out with his calculator how this is a good idea. No, it's not, honey. It's going down in value, and you're going to end up in a mess.
And then you're going to have to buy a house later on down the road, and you'll be broke.
Well, and you'll have a rusty old, an old houseboat. Ugh. Ooh.
No, thank you.
Ooh, I almost bought one of those one time because I really had it bad for a houseboat.
I could see you guys just having one, at the lake to party on.
Yeah, but I've got a house now. But I mean, back then, before we had that, we were going to get a houseboat, and I looked at this old, nasty. I mean, you can't say mildew like old houseboat. I mean, it's old houseboat mildew is
I imagine the maintenance on those things.
It's a special level of science.
Because you've got a boat, and that takes some maintenance, let alone a houseboat.
Regular boats, but I mean, my God, yeah. No, Joseph, no, I wouldn't do that. You don't find any millionaires that go, I made my first million as I lived on a boat. Didn't come up, never comes up. Robert is in Phoenix. Hey, Robert, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, George. Yeah, I have a pretty, I guess, not unique situation. I'm just in a bit of a bind, and I'm kind of curious. So currently I work in the technology field. I bring home about $100,000 a year, and I'm in baby step 2. I've been doing this for about 2 years, paid off $79,000 of my original $227,000.
Robert, you have done a great job. I, however, have not. I goofed up and brought you on with not much time left in this segment. I'm going to make you get straight to the point. It's my fault. I apologize.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, I was looking to do a career change, but I'm not sure if it's the right step to do.
Is it going up?
I'm looking to get. It's not.
Then don't do it.
Not initially.
How quick till you're done with baby step 2?
By my math, another 4 to 4.5 years.
Ooh. How far would you go down in income, and how quick would it come back?
So it'd be going into mental health. I dropped to about $40,000 a year.
No, honey, you can't. You can't do that while you're in debt and making 6 figures. No, you can do that later, but you got to get the debt cleaned up, and that'll give you that much more incentive to work more right now and get the debt cleaned up as fast as possible. But there might be a different way to go into the mental health field that doesn't require you work for 40. That doesn't sound like fun. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Benjamin is with us in Lansing, Michigan. Hi, Benjamin. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Sure. What's up?
Well, Dave, I've got a question for you. How do I cash flow a new construction? Or should I get a mortgage?
Well, the cash flow is just, sixth grade division into the number of months that you have and the money you need to throw at it, right?
Okay.
I'll give you a little bit. How much is the house going to cost?
So we're getting our blueprints in about a month or so, and so about a year and a half ago we bought our dream property. We live on 40 acres, but we also live off grid. We don't have any running water. We use an outhouse. We love it. But we also have a 7-month-old baby, and we want to get a bigger house going.
Okay.
So,
all right. So you got to put in utilities and a house. What's the budget on this?
So budget, well, I make $65,000 a year. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and we're planning on doing a fairly straightforward build. Budget, I'd be comfortable spending somewhere around $300,000.
Okay. All right. And how long will it take to build it?
Probably 3 years.
Okay.
I'm planning on doing most of the work myself, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, that's $100,000 a year, $8,000 a month. You don't have that.
Okay.
Right? 300 divided by 36 is 8,000.
All right.
Follow me?
Yes.
That's the division I was talking about, just sixth grade division. And, so do you have any down payment or any other money we haven't discussed?
Yeah, so far we've saved about $40,000 in cash. We have a $30,000 emergency fund, and this is after 15% of retirement, towards retirement, I guess.
Okay.
Those are kind of the numbers we're working with.
Okay.
The property itself we bought for about $160. Currently, it'd probably be closer to about $200,000.
Is it paid for?
It is completely. Yeah, thanks to you.
Okay. I didn't pay it. You did. Good job. If you take out a construction loan, we know you've got $40,000 to put down. So if it's a $300,000 build, whatever cash you can come up with between now and the time you're building, that you actually break ground and you start putting on it. Let's say you came up with another, I don't know, whatever. Then the rest of it's going to be a construction loan, right?
Okay, and then that would transfer to a mortgage later down the road?
As you finish the house. I don't think a construction loan is going to let you go 3 years and screw around with this. And most of them aren't going to allow you to be the GC. They're going to want a GC signing off on it.
Okay.
But you can check. I mean, maybe your local credit union will do that. Since you got so much equity in the property, they might. But this scares bankers because people have a tendency in these situations to not finish. And if they don't finish, they've got a really nice piece of acreage with a half-butt house on it. And that's what they foreclose on. It's a mess. I've tried to buy a couple of those at foreclosure. They're a mess. And but it's someone's dream that turned into a nightmare. So what I don't like about your equation is how long it's going to take you.
Okay.
I would do something to tighten up your time frame.
Gosh, I'm still super against having to pay out monthly towards a mortgage. Would it be better to save the full amount of the house, like
if you can do that?
As if
you do that, how long does it take you to save $300,000? You got 40. You need 260 more. How long does that take?
Okay. All right.
If you do it $10,000 a month, it's 26 months. If you do it in $5,000 a month, it's 50 months, 52 months. So we're bumping up on 5 years at $5,000 a month, and you don't make $5,000 a month.
Okay.
So, you're talking about 10 years to save up the money at your current income rate. Now, obviously, you can do something to change that.
But it sounds like you have a sense of urgency here to build something. You got a 7-month-old.
He's got an outhouse and a baby. Yeah, that's urgency.
So I'm not waiting 10 years. I probably am not waiting 3 years. I would probably work with a builder at this point and get it done faster and take on a reasonable mortgage that you can knock out quick.
Yeah. I don't borrow money, so I would be doing something completely different than anything you've done here, Brad. But if you take out a construction loan that converts into a mortgage that is no more than a fourth of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed, we don't scream at you about that. So I think you've got some work to do yet on adjusting what you can do to adjust your income up and your time frames. But a long build is hard on the house because it sits in the weather without a good roof on it for a while. And then once you finally get it in the dry, all the mechanicals and the rough end are sitting there. And it's hard on a house to build it slow.
And it sounds like a lot of work. I mean, you sound confident that you know what you're doing, but man, an off-grid build like that sounds like you better be a pro.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just hard on the materials sitting in the weather. It's just, you don't want the framing package sitting there with no roof on it, getting rained on, snowed on for 4 months, because you're screwing around in there doing something else. And that's what happens these
He's
things.
in Michigan, so that's some rough winters out there.
You got some weather issues and, temperature issues on when you can do installs and things. So that's the thing you got to work through is all that. Brad is with us in Huntsville. Hey, Brad, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. How you guys doing?
Great, man. How can we help?
So my wife and I eloped last year in February 2022, and we're considering having a reception next year, late April, for about $9,500. We currently have about $95,000 of debt in credit cards, car debt, and a student loan debt, and we also have a mortgage that's currently sitting at about $270,000, $1,700 payment per month. I make about $170,000 a year gross, $100K after taxes, 401K, all that jazz. And I wanted your input on the on that right there.
So you want to throw a $10,000 wedding in April. So how much would you need to save every month from right now to do that?
Well, we have some savings. We got about $25K in savings. But if we wanted to start saving right now, 6 months.
So $25K.
Remind me again, you got $95 in debt?
Yeah, in credit cards, student loans, and car debt, and we also have a mortgage.
Yeah, of $270, and then you make $170, but you're also having 401K coming out, and you have $25K sitting there.
You're doing all the steps at once now.
Yeah, you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing we teach. Okay. All right. So what we teach is a process called the baby steps, and the first step is $1,000. Anything above $1,000 saved goes towards your debt. Then beans and rice and beans. Stop all retirement savings temporarily. Throw everything at the debt as fast and hard as you can. How quick do you pay off 70 with no 401K coming out, making 170, and no eating out, and no going on vacations, and no whining? Really fast, like less than a year. 170 minus 70 is 100. You can make it, dude. And then you do your then you do your reception.
After we pay off the debt?
In less than 1 year, yeah.
Because you guys have already waited 2 years to throw this party. What's 2.5 at that point if you guys are able to do it completely debt-free?
Yeah, that's true.
$70,000 is $6,000 a month. As soon as you're debt-free, you have the party the next month. And you celebrate debt freedom and marriage. Ta-da!
Yeah, so, the current amount that we have in savings, you think take most of that and throw it directly at the debt.
Yeah, that's what we teach.
$1,000 is still
Dude, you make $170. If an emergency hits, the next paycheck covers it.
Well, yeah. Well, the industry that I'm in.
Hey, Brad, you do what you want to do, dude. I'm not arguing with you. We've been doing this a long time. Hold on, I'll send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover book. It'll outline what you should do, and then you get to decide what you will do. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, if you're in over your head with student loans and tired of getting calls from collection agencies, if private student loan debt is taking away your financial peace and you don't see any way out, you need Y Refi. They're not a debt settlement company and they're not connected to a bank. Y Refi refinances defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch and gives you a custom loan built for you based on your ability to pay. So when you refinance your private student loan debt with Y Refi, you'll have a payment you can afford with a low fixed interest rate you couldn't get anywhere else to help you stick to your budget and work the debt snowball. And you can save thousands of dollars. To learn more about this custom refinancing option and a lump sum payoff option you could qualify for after 24 months, call 844-2-RAMSEY or go to yrefi.com/Ramsey. Thanks for listening, America. George Campbell, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Doug is in Milwaukee. Hi, Doug. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and George. It's a pleasure and honor to speak with both of you.
You too. What's up?
Hey, just wanting to confirm what I think you would say, but I'm approaching 65. Mm-hmm. I still want to work past my 65th birthday. Mm-hmm. I recently became unemployed, so I'm job seeking. But I have a small 401k from my last job, only about $25,000. Mm-hmm. And I wondered if it would be wise to cash that out and pay off consumer debt of about $20,000.
Well, obviously, you're not going to have penalty on it, but you will have taxes on it. Right. What concerns me is what that leaves us with, which is nothing, and you're 65 years old.
Yeah.
So, obviously, what you would love to have is a big old pile of savings and no debt, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and so how can we best get there? And then how do we use this money to do that? I would prefer to leave it alone almost as a symbolic act that I'm going to add a bunch to my retirement as soon as I can get reemployed and clear this $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
But in a worst case scenario, I would clear it. I would use the money and clear the debt. But I think you need to have the mindset of, I got to get this debt cleared quickly so that I can quickly add to my retirement nest egg, because you need to be doing both. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah. So what were you making before you got laid off?
I was making about $60,000.
Okay. Doing what?
IT support.
Okay. All right. Cool.
What kind of debt do you have?
I do have a side gig. I have about between $13,000 and $15,000 in credit card debt, and another $7,000 in a no interest loan on some machinery my wife uses in her job.
What does she make?
She makes about $300 a month.
Okay.
$300?
Yeah.
$300, yes.
And what's the machinery? Because it sounds like this is not going to ROI for her.
It's basically high-end sewing machines.
Yeah.
She's a seamstress by trade.
Well, it's there. I mean, it's not worth anything now. So, we wouldn't make that investment again. $7,000 to create 300. 300 is $3,600 a year. You need to make a better return on that as a seamstress or anything else in business. So, but you're there now because that machinery is not worth what you paid for it. So, now it's not because it's used. Yeah, I think you got an opportunity as somebody that knows something about IT to do a lot of side hustles, freelance work, as well as pick up some jobs. So I just, I want, if I'm in your shoes, I want to create as much income as I can create and knock this $20,000 out as fast as possible, living on a very, very tight budget. I'm going to also ask her to put the old sewing machine in gear, and let's do a lot more than $300 a month. Let's try to get that to $3,000 a month. And try to get some income coming in so that we've got a nest egg to retire on here. But
I do have a side hustle, or I did have a side hustle that I am getting some work from now, but I'm actually trying to cash flow training for another job that I think I'd love more.
An IT cert?
No.
What?
Actually, I'd like to become a Ramsey financial coach.
Okay. All right. I would not spend money on that right now if I were you. I'd love to have you as a coach. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying I would rather you go and make some money right now and get some of these other things going before you spend money on something like that. We'd love to have you. Don't misunderstand, Doug. I'm not trying to be mean to you, but but I also wouldn't be. I'd be a bit hypocritical. I'm like, yeah, give me a bunch of money while you're broke, and you can, no,
Let's call that an encore career once we clean this debt
let's
up.
put that as something once you got the debt cleaned up, you got some money going into retirement, and then go find the money to go get the certification on that. I would do that. But no, I wouldn't spend the money right now to go effectively into debt, because instead of paying it on debt, you're going to spend the money on that. So no, I couldn't do that for you. I wouldn't be consistent if I suggested that, even though I do believe in our coaches, and I'm again, not trying to be insulting to you. Chris is in Augusta. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you for having me on.
Sure.
I really appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
I am 3 years from retirement. My student loans, I make my 120 payments. I'm in education for my public service loan forgiveness in April, so I'll be done with that. The only debt we have outside of that is our house. And we know we're going to probably move in the next 5 to 7 years back to kind of where our people are at. So should I concentrate on paying off the house, or should I concentrate on building up my retirement fund?
What are you investing right now into retirement?
I've had a 403B in quite a few different places. I just consolidated those with a Ramsey specialist. I'm a fiduciary. It's right at $40,000.
Sorry, you broke up with us, Chris.
Right at $40,000, yeah.
Yeah, right at $40,000. My retirement from teaching will be right at $60,000 a year.
So, are you putting anything into retirement now?
At the present moment, no, because of the student loans, and we do not have a fully funded emergency fund yet.
Okay. Then you would not be paying into retirement or extra on your house, either one. You would be. Did you say you had 4 payments left? You've been on a private or the public student loan forgiveness for 10 years?
You have to make 120 payments on the student loan forgiveness.
Yeah, it's 10 years.
Yeah, I'll meet 120 in April.
Okay. Well, I pray that you are one of the few that works for. You are aware that only 4% of the people that apply for that are actually getting it.
I am.
Yeah.
I've been meticulously keeping my paperwork.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and that hasn't mattered because there are a bunch of freaking liars up there. I mean, I'm serious. When the last time I looked, it was 1.16% of them are approved, which is 98% are not. And,
Right.
and I promise you they thought they had their paperwork in order. So the whole thing is a freaking sham, but I sure hope you get it. Okay, so what's the balance on the student loan?
It's more than doubled since I've had it. It's at $225 right now.
And that's because you were holding out for this public student loan forgiveness?
Partially, but even when I was making payments, it was one of those stories where you make your payments and it still grows and
The
grows
minimum
and grows.
doesn't touch it
Yeah.
because of the interest.
Yes, absolutely.
Which makes me want to burn Washington to the ground. Good people like you having been misled like this, I sure hope they forgive it. I'm not hopeful, though, from a practical standpoint. Okay, so let's set that aside. Your first thing is build your emergency fund. Is that your only debt other than your house?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your first step between now and April, build your emergency fund as big as you can build it.
Okay.
And then let's see if the forgiveness goes through. If it doesn't go through, you're going to have to deal with the student loan. If it does go through, that'll be gone, and then we will move to putting 15% of your income into retirement.
Okay.
And the rest would go towards anything else you can find. You go towards paying extra on the house, regardless if you're going to move. I don't care if you're going to move or not, unless you're going to move next month. But because 3 or 4 or 5 years, who the crap knows when you're going to do that? I mean, I don't know. You don't know even. It's just a general feeling you've got. That doesn't change the idea that you need to get a paid-for house. So we need to get a paid-for house and a big old pile of money when we get to retirement. That's the game plan.
Okay. Absolutely can do that.
Yeah, so
Starting today.
Yeah, let's start on the emergency fund right now. You see anything else, George?
No, that's it. But I mean, if that emergency fund, it might be your saving grace to start knocking out these student loans.
Well,
If it's a dash versus a slash, they'll reject it. That's how silly these applications have been.
and that's not just a Twitter saying. That's an actual syntax.
I saw an actual
fact.
video of that. Real sad.
An actual deal. The guys are looking for any excuse. It's just horrible. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, George Camel here. If you love the show and you want a deeper dive on your money journey, we've got a weekly newsletter that gives you helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for the newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. He's also the co-host of the Ramsey Network production called Smart Money Happy Hour with Rachel Cruz. You don't want to miss out on anything George is doing, especially on the YouTubes. He's pretty good at that stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Alex is in Sacramento to start off this hour. Hi, Alex. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I just want to say thank you because with your program, we were able to purchase a home, and we're now on baby step 4.
Well, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. So my question is related to investment, and so my husband and I were both teachers. We both make about $80,000 a year, and we don't have any debt. However, we just had a baby, and we'd like to stay home, at least one of us stay home with a baby for 2 years. So we saved enough money to do so. We have another daughter, so 2 children, and we haven't started saving for my other daughter's college yet. This is my second marriage. The first one was very short-lived. I was very young. However, God blessed me with my new husband. And unfortunately, my daughter's biological father passed away. So she is receiving Social Security income each month. So I'm wondering, should we be investing, and should I be saving money for her to go to college?
Yes, to all of that. And are you planning on staying home at this point? Have you guys talked through that?
Yes. So
Okay.
right now, I'm staying home with the baby.
Okay, and you guys have crafted a budget and looked at, hey, can we make this work in the Sacramento area off of one income of $80,000?
Yes, we were able to save enough money.
Great.
Wait.
Wait, you said you have savings you're going to use to cash flow this?
Yes.
How much?
We saved around 25.
So you can't live on 80?
No, but we were able to, using the budgeting app, we were able to calculate how much we would need in order for us to stay. One of us to stay home.
Right. Which is $1,000 a month for 24 months, right?
Yeah, about there.
Yeah, I mean, you got $25,000 you said saved, and then you're going to use all that to subsidize the fact you can't make budget at 80, right?
Yes.
So you're $1,000 a month over budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you have an emergency fund in addition to that?
Yes.
Okay.
But no retirement.
Okay.
My worry is you're looking to save for college. Do you guys own a home or are you renting?
We own a home.
Okay. I don't think you're going to be able to invest 15% and save for college and pull off this plan right now.
No, you're not doing any of that. You don't have college or retirement built into your $1,000 burn rate, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's the part that really scares me with this. I think we need to hit pause on this or figure out a different solution. Maybe you bring in the extra 1,000, and we still need more money than that to invest for the next 2 years.
Yeah, like, why don't you tutor part-time while you're staying home? You can make $50 an hour in Sacramento doing that.
Okay. And my daughter, the income that she's receiving from Social Security is
Is that not in your budget?
It's not in the budget.
Okay. All right, let's stop and park on that for just a second. You're not morally or legally obligated to do anything with that money except put it in the budget because you spend more on your daughter than that Social Security check is. So that's just to supplement the raising of your daughter, and your household spends more money than that, than what they give you on the daughter. So it can be a part of your budget morally and legally, and that's usually what we recommend. Because you've got this dialed down so tight, if you want to use that to start a college fund for her, that's fine. I don't care. But I don't want you to do that thinking that this money has to be earmarked for that somehow, or you're a bad mom, or it has to be earmarked or you've done something illegal. Neither one of those things are true.
That was my worry. I just want to use this ethically.
Well, ethically would be if you put it in your budget and you take care of your daughter, which includes saving for college for your kids. That would be you've done ethical. Because you're spending, believe me, you spend more raising a kid than that check each month. Agreed?
Yeah.
Easy. Okay? The same thing's true usually with child support, for that matter. It just rolls up into the budget. It doesn't have to be set aside for the actual child. It goes into the budget because we buy stuff for the child like shelter and electricity and things like that in the household budget that is for the child's benefit. And so it's ethical, moral, legal, all of the above. But right now, you've got the budget dialed down and you don't have anything to put in kids' college. If you want to use this, since it's not included in the budget, as long as you're not doing it out of some kind of emotional obligation, then I'm fine with that, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like that you're burning this money. It's not a healthy place, and you're not putting money into retirement. I do like you want to be home, and you're figuring out a way to be home with the babies. I'm all for that, okay? But you're really straining at this. So if I'm you guys, I'm picking up some extra work between the two of you with tutoring is probably your highest income as a side hustle, and try to earn $1,000 a month so that we don't touch this 25. And then that allows us to start putting money into retirement possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's try to adjust just a little bit here. You're close. I mean, $1,000 a month on an $80,000 budget, it's only 12 a year, so that's
side hustle money.
That's side hustle money, easy side hustle money. So not much hustle, just side.
And a lot of people, Dave, don't know about the spousal IRA. For those that are stay-at-home parents, they still have the ability to fund an IRA, which can be a great thing. So don't miss out on that if that makes sense for you.
You can do a full Roth IRA if your spouse works and you don't. Okay? So that's called the spousal IRA. So you're just as qualified as if you were as if you had an earned income. So my wife, Sharon, has not worked outside the home in 30 plus years, and we've never missed a single Roth IRA.
Way to go.
Ding, 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 ding. Well,
that's the way to do it.
Not since they started doing IRAs.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
that was before my time, I guess.
Yeah, it was after we went broke. So there you go. But yeah, so not the entire marriage. We haven't been doing it. But yeah, once we got some money and we were funding retirement, we've always done a spousal, to your point. That's a good reminder, IRA, because you qualify for that if your spouse has an earned income. Earned income has to be in excess of the two IRA amounts combined, but it obviously would be. I mean, it's only $12,000-$14,000, so not a lot of money. But you'll get there. You'll get there. I love it. I like what you're doing, Alex, in that you're planning very carefully. That's what keeps people out of trouble, is very careful planning. What is a little bit scary is your burn rate, and if we can adjust that, I think you got a fabulous plan. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, you know that sinking feeling when you make an offer on a house you love and then you hear there's another offer? You need the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge. Super fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate, plus a $5,000 seller guarantee gives your offer the best chance of being accepted. The Home Buyer Edge from Churchill gives you an advantage over those other guys. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. George Campbell, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Our first ever money and marriage getaway weekend retreat is this coming weekend, October 19th through the 21st, here on the Ramsey campus. You and your spouse will be equipped with tools to cast vision for your family, set goals, create the life you both love. The Money and Marriage Getaway is, of course, Rachel Cruz and Dr. John Deloney. The only thing funnier than that would be if George Campbell was involved, and then there's lots of humor. So the three of them get together. It's an absolute hoot.
I can't wait.
Me and Jade just watch. We just watch the circus when it happens. So
Deloney's the circus. I wrangle the circus.
Yeah, I'm the I can't say not my monkey, not my circus
well, you're,
on this
you're
one because it is
Barnum,
my
Dave.
monkey, is my circus.
You are P.T. Barnum. You put on the circus.
That's it. I'm the guy. So,
you collect the checks.
Yeah.
I go in the ring and tame the lions.
Let me know when that happens, all right? So anyway, hey, the tickets are still a few available. I mean, literally just a handful, but it is just a couple days away. So if at last minute you want to impulse, come to Nashville, and you've got the money, obviously. Don't impulse something when you're broke. That makes you broker. We're not talking about that. But this is a great weekend. It is a 3-day event, October 19th through the 21st. It'll be at our Ramsey Event Center here on campus, and the whole team is gearing up for this. We're really excited to have you guys on campus with us. Thank you. Tickets are $7.99, and again, just a few of them left. RamseySolutions.com/events for your tickets. Mike's in Dayton, Ohio. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, Dave and George. I'll get right to my question. I haven't heard. I've been following you for about 6 months, and we paid off all our credit cards, and now we're down to nothing but our mortgage, but I have 2 Parent Plus loans for my daughters, and they want to do that pay for play thing or whatever that's called that extends them out. And I'm 59 and I'm almost 59 and a half, and I have $500,000 in 401k between me and my wife. And I also started a new job about 5 years ago, and I was putting a lot into that, and I have about $125,000 in that. And I was wondering if I should, when I get 59 and a half, if I should use that 125 and pay off them 2 Parent Plus loans.
How much are they?
One's 41.5, and the other one is $18,078.
I would.
Just pay them off?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know,
you are technically liable. They are not.
I understand that. They said they would pay them back, but
then they said they weren't.
Well, they're going to do that extended thing.
Well, that means they're never paid back. You understand that?
Yes, that's why
the extended plan is 30 years of not even making the principal payment.
Exactly.
Which means
much less the interest. No interest is paid, and they don't even make a principal payment. It goes backwards for 30 years.
I know.
The definition of stupid.
Yeah. Yes.
Stupid government program. The DMV visits finance class. I mean, that's what this is, right?
Correct.
Oh, God. I mean, thank you, Joe Biden. I mean, can't string a sentence together and came up with this plan. Oh, my God. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. No. You're going to get stuck with it, dude. That's what's going to happen. So we might as well own that now and be done with it. Did you have an agreement with the girls before they went to school that they were going to pay these?
Yes, and they paid on them, but they're going nowhere. The 41,000 was originally 39, and the 18 was originally 16. So they're going backwards on these already from when they took out the loan.
How long ago was that?
Oh, geez. One daughter is 30. She graduated at 24, and she's 31.
Okay, so we're coming up on a decade, and what we've done is gone backwards. So the way I analyze this is that pattern is probably going to go forward. We just discussed that. So how does that work out for Mike? Well, that sucks is how that works out for Mike.
That's what I was wondering. But you always say never take out your 401k, but I thought this might be a good time at 59
I don't take it out prior to retirement. After 59 and a half is what you're talking about, where there's no penalty, and you've got 500,000, or you've got 625,000. We're going to pull 60 something out plus some taxes to cover these, right?
Well, I have my Roth I have them in a Roth. I have most of it in a Roth.
Mm-hmm.
So my Roth would be tax free.
Mm-hmm.
I have about 44,000 in Roth.
Yeah.
And the 18 would be, I would have about 15 I'd have to take out of the standard 401 because, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm, the standard one.
Do you sense the cleanliness in your spirit of what I'm talking about?
Yes, because I got my 1,000. I paid off all my credit cards, which was 12,000. And now I'm stuck with, this is the only thing on my credit right now is this and my mortgage.
Well, obviously, I'm not worried about your credit. I'm worried about Mike. And Mike's daughters are not paying this. That's what they announced. We're going to not pay it. We're going to pay it while not paying it. That's what they announced because they signed up for stupid government crap. So,
trusting a 17-year-old's good intentions to pay you back isn't going to cut it. And so when parents sign on the dotted line for these, they don't understand what they're doing. They're potentially decapitating their retirement.
Ooh.
When they sign up for this. And it's heartbreaking to hear. But Mike, this is a stupid tax that we just got to pay as we enter our golden years. And they're starting to look a little more silver, a little more bronze.
So what's the stupid new one called? The SAVE?
The SAVE plan.
Which is absolutely the opposite.
Let's just stretch it out. Yeah.
It's like the stay in debt plan. They nicknamed it SAVE. Stands for some acronym. Stupid.
Stupid.
Asinine.
David can't say the second. Yeah, there we go.
Stupid asinine. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, God. So, I mean, seriously, it's a 30-year plan, and when they give you the thing based on your income, it does not charge you any penalty or interest beyond what you're doing, but it accumulates principal because you're not even covering the principal with the payment. And you know, so you have to have a Dr. Phil moment with these stupid things and go, how's that working for you? You know, it's not. You've been screwing around with a government plan since you got out of school. You're 31 years old. It's gone backward $3,000, and you announced to your dad that the way you're going to help him out and honor your word to him is that you're going to pay this is not pay it again, and let it go backwards some more.
And now stick him with a higher balance than you started with.
Exactly. That's the net. That's the net of this. Now these girls didn't know that. They didn't think that through. But that's what happens.
It wasn't a maniacal plan.
Believe in a stupid butt plan coming out of Washington D.C. God Almighty.
And we heard story after story.
So aggravating.
And the Borrowed Future podcast and the documentary of all of these people who were like, well, the government's giving me such a gift to lower my payment based on my income. Then they wake up 10, 20 years later and their principal has doubled. And now they're really underwater and they're really screwed.
Well,
So
the guy in the other hour, he started with 100-something thousand, 200-something thousand now.
it just balloons.
Counting on the private or the public student loan forgiveness, the PS, which is not. Oh, it's just
You're going to
exhausting.
give Dave an aneurysm, America.
It's exhausting. Well, I just hate it for you guys because you're getting screwed by your own government. The first way they screwed you was they had put a student loan program in place for you to get $150,000 in debt to get a degree in left-handed puppetry and told you that was the way to success. And now you're a barista and you're screwed. And it's just awful. It's just awful. And then they come out and go, we're going to forgive it. Oh, no, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. No, yes, we are. And really, they don't intend to forgive it. They want to keep you. It's the biggest scam perpetrated on the American public by our government, mathematically, in history. The second largest scam was the genius that invented the idea that we take your taxes out of your check before you see your check. If they posted a tax guy inside your building and you had to walk out and hand him cash out of every check, there would be a revolution in America. Pitchforks, torches, because you people would see how much of the money you earn you're giving to this government to misbehave. You would see that. But no, it's just kind of came out of my check. I didn't notice it. Yeah. But tax collectors would be as reviled as they were. We would name the guy Matthew.
After the biblical
He'd be as
Matthew.
reviled as they were in the Bible. Post him inside your building, little Matthew's in there collecting a check. Him and Zacchaeus. They're in there collecting your check.
Hey folks, Dr. John Deloney here with some great news. You get to choose. Whatever you do, good or bad moving forward, the choice is yours. And when you're intentional about making good choices over time, they become healthy habits, like choosing to slow down and make time for a daily practice of prayer and meditation. One thing that has helped me with a daily practice of meditation and prayer is Hallow. Hallow is the #1 prayer app in the world, and they're giving you 3 months free to get started. That's 3 months free to prioritize your mental health and be intentional about finding peace through calming music, prayers, meditation, and more. And Hallow isn't just Catholic. You can tailor the content towards your faith tradition. If you don't have a faith tradition, this is a great place to learn more about it. From scripture readings and prayers to journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice mindfulness, build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life, and choose peace. Remember, Hallow is giving you 90 days free. Imagine the peaceful habits you can establish in 90 days. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today and follow the simple prompts to start your free 90-day trial. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Rakisha is with us. Hi, Rakisha. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. So good to be here. I'm great.
We're honored to have you. Where do you live?
I live in Cleveland, Ohio.
Very cool. Welcome. And how much debt have you paid off, Rakisha?
$253,000.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
4 years and 1 month.
Good for you. Wow. And your range of income during that time?
Went from $60,000 to $375,000.
Nice jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I am a surgeon.
Oh, well, there's that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we went from residency into the real big stuff.
Yeah, I finished my fellowship training, then became a staff surgeon.
Okay. How long have you been finished with your fellowship?
I finished in about 2 years ago, 2021.
Okay. So you've been in the big bucks for a couple years.
A couple years. Yep.
And you didn't go live like a stupid doctor. Instead, you went and paid off your bill.
That's right.
Look at you.
I still drive my 2012 Mitsubishi Lancer.
Boom!
Yeah. So the lifestyle creep did not get me.
It didn't creep.
It did not.
How much of this was med school debt, or the 253?
The lion's share of it. It was credit cards, a timeshare, and then most of it was medical school.
Wow.
It's about 200,000, a little over.
Whole bunch of things to get clear. Way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So how long do you remember back in your childhood? How long have you wanted to be a doctor?
Only senior year of high school when I took a field trip to a local medical school. Before that, I wanted to be an engineer.
Okay. So valedictorian of your class?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all?
But I did well. I was top 10% or something.
Yeah, I mean, you got in med school, so you're no dummy, obviously.
Yep.
Well done.
What kind of surgeon?
Now, I can do dumb stuff with money in particular, so don't put it past me.
Well, we have all got that ability. That's not the question, but I'm just trying to look at you. Well done. Very well done.
And we said what kind of surgeon.
Yeah.
I do general surgery and actually weight loss bariatric surgery.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Very cool. And you're in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Doctors in your family?
No doctors.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you're the first one.
Yes, sir. I am.
Look at you. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what made you decide to go the opposite of all of your peers, which is keep this student loan debt around for a decade or two, which is what most of them do, and they go buy a new BMW and a house they can't afford as soon as they get out of med school?
Yeah, when I graduated in 2019 from my surgical residency, I had a month off before I started my fellowship, which was a 2-year at Cleveland Clinic. And during that time, I just had some time to breathe, and I was like, well, why don't I get my finances in order? So I started figuring out how I could be debt-free and wealthy. That was one of my affirmations. And so soon after I Googled that, I found the Ramsey program. And so, I was hooked when I started listening to the show. I loved how you were kind of, being hard on people, like kind of that tough love, which is kind of my love language. And so from that time, I decided to get on the plan and get after it.
That's amazing. And so what were these sacrifices that you made? Did you just keep living how you were living, or was it hard seeing how your friends were living at that point?
So, yeah, it was in a way, but, once I kind of learned about the plan and had a sense of direction, because before that I had kind of no clue how I was going to kind of get to wealth and debt freedom, but I bought an efficiency when I moved to Cleveland 4 years ago. I bought a studio that was like $700 a month.
Wow.
And so I definitely sacrificed that way. And then during my surgery fellowship, I took on extra call and did some moonlighting at smaller hospitals that needed some coverage.
What does that pay?
Anywhere from like $400 a day to you can make probably $1,000 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, because you're doing your residence at that point.
Yeah, I was a fellow.
So they're not paying you full doc rate, but yeah.
Correct. I was in my fellowship making $60,000, so I could make a couple, $1,000 to $2,000 extra a month.
Yeah.
And so I was putting it toward my debt.
Yeah, okay. So, but still, mathematically looking at this, I'll bet you paid the most of this in the last 2 years since you got the $375.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lion's share. Once my income went up times 5.
Well, you already had the habits in place, and now you just added fuel to this thing.
Absolutely. The budget was it. Once I kind of had the game plan, all that extra money.
Any of your peers cheering you on, or they all think you lost your mind?
Oh yeah, they were cheering me on. They were like, that's great for you. My family and friends were cheering me on. I was trying to get most of them to be on the plan, but wasn't as successful with everybody, but had a lot of support. People were like, wow, good for you.
Yeah, most people in med school catch a disease called doc-itis, and when they graduate, they go spend money they don't have.
Correct.
Because now they're a big doctor, only they're a broke doctor.
Yeah.
And so it takes them about a decade to recover from the stupidity 2 years after getting their degree.
Yeah.
Or 2 years after passing their bars and passing their
boards,
boards and getting MD, yeah.
Yep.
So, wow.
For sure.
Congratulations. You're sharp.
Thank you.
You're a rock star.
Thank you so
amazing,
much.
Amazing hero.
I'm scared to see how much wealth you build.
Oh, my gosh.
Over your lifetime now.
$375,000. What's the first? You got to do something big and cool to celebrate. What are you doing?
I mean, this happened, in July? I actually, got out of debt officially. So, my birthday's tomorrow. So this was my big present to myself to come here and do my debt-free scream. But,
well, we appreciate that, but you got to do something bigger. You got to go big. You make $400,000 a year, you don't have payment in the world.
Right,
Maybe one of those overwater
you earn
bungalows.
some kind of cool celebration.
Upgrade the car, something.
Yeah. I mean,
That car needs upgrading, girl. Upgrade that car.
It runs fine. I've learned contentment during this time.
You make $400,000 a year. Upgrade that car.
Okay.
Get you a good car.
Next is a good down payment on the home.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
That's
you can
exciting.
do that too. You got plenty of money. I'm not saying about an $80,000 car, but I mean, go get you a $20,000 car on top of what you got, and at least, come on. I mean,
If you say so, I might then.
I'm just telling you.
We
I
have
think
broke people that buy $60,000 cars, so you have earned it.
Yeah, you make $40,000 a month. I mean, or $35,000 a month. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So hello. Way to go. Awesome. Amazing. Way to go. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing.
Thank y'all.
You're inspiring.
Hey, y'all are inspiring. Y'all are such an inspiration to me. So I'm really thankful for the program and that I found y'all. So.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. I hope we can help you in the rest of this wealth journey.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You're going to be there in 20 minutes for you, and the Total Money Makeover book to give away to someone who's inspired by your story in your family or friend group, and certainly Financial Peace University as well. All of that's for you. Just to say thanks for coming down from Cleveland. We are honored to meet you. You're a hero.
Thank y'all.
You have talk about somebody change your family tree.
Oh, yeah.
Whole everything. And I mean the education piece, the whole bit, and making serious bank and not a payment in the world. Wow. All right. Count it down. $253,000 paid off in 4 years and 11 months, making 60 to 375. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! Woo! That's what I want my surgeon to sound like. Woo! I love it.
She's operating differently now on a whole new level.
Oh, bada boom. Way to go, George. She's
impressive.
operating on a whole new level. This is the Ramsey Show. It's crazy, George. Wait a minute. It's not the Ramsey Show yet. It will be in a minute, but
we got excited. We got a little trigger happy.
I got fired up there. That's pretty amazing.
She's impressive.
So here's the trick. Did you hear what she said she did? I got on a budget. When I had the break, I sat down and I said, this is where I am. I'm going to be wealthy. What do I have to do to get there? What must be true about my life for me to get there? And I'm going to get on a plan. And so she jumped on like Every Dollar, started doing that. The Every Dollar webinars, you and Rachel and Jade are doing those again. Right. They're free. You can go to everydollar.com/budgeting and sign up. It's completely free and learn how to do what she did, and that is take stock of where you are and end up, as George said, operating at a higher level. Oh, that was just too corny.
I know.
But it was really good.
I'm a dad now, so I make dad jokes.
That's good.
Thank you.
Okay.
But it's true, whether you make $30,000 or $300,000, because people go, well, Rakisha makes so much money, of course. You saw that sacrifice when she was making $60,000.
And she paid off $253,000 too. Hello.
Big hole, but big shovel.
Most of you don't have that. So there you go.
That's impressive.
Tell me it can't be done. It can be done. This is the Ramsey Show. Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Dave.com/Ramsey. George Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Emma is in Albany, New York. Hi, Emma. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'll start with a little bit of background. I am 26 years old. I have no debt. I have an emergency fund, and I just started saving up for a down payment on a house.
Good for
So
you.
in doing this, thank you. In doing this, I'm looking at how much my paycheck is going where, and the one thing I keep coming back to is how much is enough to retire on. Now, I know you guys have that general 15% guideline, but since I graduated and started working, I've been contributing between 20 and 25% to my retirement. So it's pretty front-loaded, and now I worry a little bit about having too much of my net worth tied up in funds I won't be able to access for another 30-plus years. So that leads me to kind of a two-part question. First, how much is too much to have in your retirement? And how do I plan for something so far in the future, considering we don't know what inflation or cost of living is going to look like by then?
Great questions. And it sounds like you're way ahead of the curve. How much do you have in retirement currently?
Currently about $100,000.
Amazing. And it sounds like you want to retire early, by the way you're talking. You're saying, hey, I can't wait 30 years to access these funds. Are you saying, hey, if I want to stop working or have the option to work at 50, what do I do?
Yeah, if it's possible, sure.
Okay.
It will be possible in your case. What do you make a year?
About $95,000 a year.
Good for you. Well, you're doing really good. I would put you in the top 95 percentile of somebody your age. You are kicking it. So this is more of a theoretical discussion than it is an actual discussion because you've really got it dialed in. Let's just say that Emma has her act together, okay?
Thanks.
All right. Now, if you want to do what we would call some bridge investing, you'll be able to do that beginning in your late 30s and still be in great shape. So you got 10 years before you have to worry about that. Okay? And the only way you'd want to worry about that is, like you said, you've got a lot going into retirement. You're going to be putting 15% of your income into retirement. It's only $15,000 a year right now. And you're going to put the balance of what you can find on the house and get the house paid off after you make the purchase on the house, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, in your 40s, you should have over $1 million. And so if you want to, at that point, go, I'm going to start side loading some money over here. Some of the money I'm going to save. Once my house is paid off, I mean, you could continue to put 15% in retirement and have another 10% going into non-retirement investing, just into, just an S&P 500 would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to. I mean, that's what I did. I maxed everything out, and then I just threw money to the side and had, more than enough wealth long before I got into my 50s.
So here's what that equates to, Emma. You can go down to 15% investing, keep saving for the house. That's going to help you save up for the house faster, get it paid off. Then you can increase your investing. I just crunched the numbers here for her, Dave. She's going to have $7 million at her current rate. If she just invests 15% and you get a 10% return, she's going to have...
including the 100 that's already in there?
That includes the 100. You'll have $7 million by 60. You'll hit $1 million you were spot on, Dave, by 40 years old.
Yeah.
She'll have $1 million sitting in that account.
I thought she'd be about there now. That sounds right. And so what that means is that when you get that first $1 million in retirement, if you're in your late 30s, early 40s, then just stop or slow down and then just chunk everything else. But when the house is paid for, you can go on up to 30%, 35% investing if you want to. You'll have plenty of money because you'll have a house payment.
Right.
And your income's going to go up through time. As far as predicting what returns are 40 or 50 years in the future, no one obviously can do that, or what inflation's going to do 40 or 50 years out. No one can do that. When I was your age, it was 40 years ago, and I started talking about doing this stuff, and now I got a bunch of money in mutual funds. That's the equation. It's not some nerded out tenth of a point to 0.2 of a point to I got to figure out the 12B1 fees, or I got to just invest. Invest in good mutual funds that have a long track record. They're going to keep you ahead of inflation, especially inside of a retirement account, because the companies that cause inflation are the companies that you're buying stock in. By definition, that's a hedge. Okay, so if you're buying stock in computers, the value of the cost of computers goes up. That's inflation. If you're buying stock in oil and gas, in your mutual fund, and the cost of gasoline goes up, which it has over 40 years, then guess what? It's built into the profitability of your company you're buying into. So, ultimately, the stock market in itself is basically an inflation hedge. The way you hedge against inflation is you buy items that are inflating, houses and companies that are charging inflated prices due to inflation. Thus the name, and that's what you're doing. So that the way you're going to build wealth, you don't have to spend a lot of time fretting over the economy or inflation or something else. The economy goes down, woohoo! We're buying stock cheap. Economy goes up, woohoo! The value of my stock all went up.
Yeah, and based on the way Emma's talking, I think she needs to have some balance, live her life. You don't need to funnel every single dollar into investing.
Right.
I want you to enjoy some of it too. And right now, you're very much on track to have plenty of money. So I'm not that worried about it.
Done a great job.
Crushing it.
Franco's in Las Vegas. Hi, Franco. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, George. Very excited to be talking to you today.
Sure. What's up?
So my question for today is, should I buy out my ex-wife out of the house, or should I keep waiting for the house to sell, considering the slow months ahead? So to give a little background on that, I recently went through a divorce that finished about a month ago. Mm-hmm. It lasted for about 8 months. And since the beginning of the relationship and even the beginning of the divorce, I've been paying for the mortgage, for all the bills related to the house, and for all the debts that she's carrying right now, plus the 3 dogs that we used to have together.
You're paying 3 dogs that you used to have together. I'm so confused. Why would you be paying for dogs that you don't have for an ex-wife?
Because since the beginning of the relationship, she basically decided not to work, even if I encourage her.
I don't care. Have you got the dogs?
No, I don't.
Then they're no longer your responsibility.
Okay.
If you want to take care of the dogs, go get them. But otherwise, quit paying for the freaking dogs. For your ex-wife. Come on, man. Now, and so she's in the house?
She's in the house, yes.
And you're paying all the bills.
And what did the divorce decree say about the house? It had to be sold?
Yes, it's in the process of being sold. It's been 3 months in the market with a lot of showings, but it hasn't been sold yet.
Okay. And you're paying the payment?
Yes, I'm making the payment, and I'm paying the bills related to the house as well.
Okay, and she's living in the house?
Yes.
What a wonderful deal. I bet it's hard to show that house, and when you do, it's messy.
I'm actually not allowed to enter the house. She prefers for me not to.
So what makes you think you can buy her out?
So I've been thinking that I could buy the portion that it will be the same for her if the house gets sold.
Is she going to move with the dogs then?
Yes.
You sure?
If I do so, I would hope so.
So far, you've not done very good deals.
Yeah.
She's got to move. You understand that?
Yeah, I do.
And the dogs.
At what point do you stop paying all of her bills?
When the house sells.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we sure about that?
Yes, it's part of the divorce decree.
Yeah, but is Franco going to quit?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to quit. I've been.
How much does it take to buy her out?
About $50,000.
Okay, but it's not worth that because after expenses, you're not going to net 50 on half. You're not netting a full 100 when it sells, are you?
So the price of the house is about on the market $630 right now, and because we still owe a big amount on the house.
What do you owe?
We owe about $450.
Okay, there's not. Yeah, that's about right then. Okay, if you can come up with $50,000 and you want to buy her out and then sell the house yourself later, but she's got to leave, and I don't think she's going to. This is the Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. He is also the co-host of Smart Money Happy Hour with Rachel Cruz on the Ramsey Networks and the George Camel YouTube show, Camel with a K. Be sure you check it out. Don't miss him. It's pretty informative stuff. Phone number here to talk about your life and your money is 888-825-5225. Christina is in Austin, Texas. Hi, Christina. How are you?
Doing good. How are you, Dave?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
That's good. Thanks for taking our call. So a little bit of background on us. My husband and I we're 26 and 28 years old, and I have a MetLife settlement that I've been receiving since I've been 21. And my husband has disability with the VA, and so outside of our jobs, we're bringing in income. So altogether, really, in a year, we probably bring in about $90,000. But lately, we have been having a lot of debt. From student loans to credit cards to car payments. And I feel like the money that we're getting to utilize for other things is just going right to debt. And so we've been tossing around the idea of possibly selling our home and paying off our debt with the equity we've built up over these last 2 years. But my husband, he doesn't think it's a good idea. He's scared to do that. And so I don't know. We've just been talking around the idea, and we just wanted to get your input on that because this MetLife settlement, I won't have it forever. And so I would love to invest that into other things instead of debt. But I wanted to hear from you what your thoughts were.
Well, you're not quite ready to invest. We got to clean up this mess, and selling a home is a big deal, and it's generally kind of a last-ditch thing if we have to get out of this. Okay. But I'm not sure you guys are there yet, making $90K. How much consumer debt do you have?
So we have about 110, maybe 105. How
much of that is cars?
About 60,000.
That's a lot of car.
It is, and I've actually been telling my husband for him to get rid of his truck.
I'd rather you get rid of the truck before the house.
Yeah, but he doesn't think that we'll get back enough to pay off the truck. And so, but I think he should give it a try to see how much we'll get from it, but he just doesn't. We've been getting, what's that word? We've been getting offers of like $24,000, and we owe about $45,000 on it still.
I wouldn't look at offers. I mean, you sell a private party, and you're going to get way more than offers from dealerships.
Okay. Yeah, and so we have too many vehicles, and then school loans is another $40,000, and then credit cards is probably about $5,000 to $7,000.
You make enough to get out of student loan debt and get out of the credit card debt if you didn't have the car payments. But your car choices are what have sunk you, not your house.
Okay.
Sell the truck.
Let me get rid of the cars.
Sell the truck.
Okay.
What are the payments on those cars?
So I have my car is $376, and then his truck is about $762.
Goodness gracious!
Every month.
So you'd free up $1,100 just by getting rid of these cars. Wouldn't that change your life?
Yes, it would.
Could you pay off some debt with an extra $1,100?
Yeah, we could. And right now we've been throwing $1,000 to debt every month, but it just gets me angry every month to that we're throwing it to debt, you know. And I know
you asked about selling the home. George is right. Not before we sell both cars, and we work a hard plan with driving a couple of hoopties, working extra jobs.
Okay.
What's the nature of the MetLife settlement? What's that from?
So it's from a car accident that I had with my family when I was younger. I was about 4 years old. My brother died from it. And so my parents were gracious enough to separate the money for us once we hit 21. And so at 21, we received $50,000, which I paid another portion of student loans at the time because I had gone to a private institution. And so that went to student debt, but then I still had the $40,000 pending.
And when does it come?
When does what? I'm sorry?
When does the 40 come?
The 40, like the school loans? That's what I owe right now.
The $40,000 worth of student loans pending. I'm sorry. Is the rest of the money coming from MetLife a monthly money or a lump sum?
Yes. No, monthly money. I'm getting $2,429 for it every month.
For how long?
When I turn 35, so I have about 9 years to go.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You guys need to get. The truck is glaringly absurd in your numbers. It's the thing that sticks out and screams stupid.
Okay.
And it's got to go. It's out of control. And probably your car too, but at least the truck, because you're making $90,000, you're driving a $60,000 truck. That does not make sense. Nice truck though.
He's not gonna like to hear that, Dave. But he's gotta get rid of it.
Well, he's gonna. Guess what? He's not homeless. He's just truckless. It's a better choice.
The fact that he'd rather sell his house before his truck tells me that truck is an ego play.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah. Good luck with that. I hope you talk him into it because that's what you guys need to do.
Have him watch this call.
It's the best thing that you can do. You've got to clear this up. And so.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. If your truck payment's bigger than your house payment, you might be a redneck. Yeah, it could be. That's possible. Rachel's in Canada. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
So my husband and I have an opportunity to look at taking a greenhouse business over. However, I don't have a single idea of what questions to ask when we go in to talk with them.
Why would they let you take it over if they're making a profit? Why would they not sell it to you?
He is keen on remaining in the business for a little bit longer. He's the sort of fellow that's going to work until his dying day.
The owner?
So, yes.
Okay, how are you taking it over if he's still working there till his dying day?
He wants to train somebody up into his position, somebody that's passionate about it, that has a vision to take it in new directions, and for a couple of like how him and his wife were when they first started it.
And when will the ownership be transferred to you?
These are all questions that I have for them. We have talked on and off throughout the on-season, and so it's been very, very short conversations. And now I want to actually sit down, talk with them. What do they expect?
What I want to know, does it make a profit? Because I got a feeling it doesn't. I want someone who's passionate about it and willing to work for no money, because this is not really a business, it's a hobby.
Fair. He's been doing this for 22 years. He's well established in our area, and now he's just getting old and doesn't want to do the really long days anymore or anything like that. So it does make a profit. I
want to know how much, and I want to know what the business structure looks like. I mean, you got to get in there and learn all the business aspects of it and determine if you want to take it over. Sounds unusual, and when something sounds unusual, there's a reason. It's unusual. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personalities, my co-host today. Abigail is with us in Charleston, South Carolina. Hi, Abigail. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, it's a bit of a financial question as well as a relational question. My husband and I got married 3 years ago. We've been renting for quite a bit, and then we went up near family, and they offered to sell us a house. Well, my mother-in-law is very controlling, which is the relational part of the question. She controls everything and has the codependency issues where she will go and she will buy something for you, even though you're going to buy it yourself and you didn't want her to buy it. Or, for instance, the house that they were trying to sell us. So she bought it. Now we're working on it, which is absolutely bad.
Let me stop a minute. Did you guys buy this house or not?
We were going to.
Okay, so you've not bought the house.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
She has.
Okay, so you're not getting that house. What are you going to do?
Well, right now we're working on it. And
why are you working on her house?
Because we're supposed to be buying it from her.
So you agreed to buy it later?
Yeah.
Is this in writing or is this just a handshake agreement?
It's a handshake agreement, really.
Okay, when you buy it from her, what does that look like? You buy it, you go get a mortgage and you purchase the house, and then you're the owner, right?
Yeah, and from what I was wanting to do was I was trying to get my husband to agree to get a mortgage and then some on top of that to do repairs. Well, we need a contractor for that, and my husband's bucking and kicking to not get a contractor because he's supposed to get his contractor's license soon, and he doesn't want to put us further in debt.
What does that have to do with your mother-in-law?
I don't know how to approach her.
Why does she need to be approached?
Well, because we're living with her right now.
Oh.
Or she's living with us. We're both living with her mother.
What?
And she has her own home. She just refused to go home.
What do you guys make?
My husband started a new job in June doing HVAC, and right now it's about it's up to $2,000 every 2 weeks, so $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you guys?
He's 30 and I'm 23.
Okay.
We've got 2 kids.
Okay.
And you're staying home with the kids?
It
Yeah.
sounds like the first order of business to create some reasonable relational boundaries is to create some physical separation.
That's how.
And you guys need to go. You guys need to go get an apartment tomorrow.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to talk my husband into that.
Well, then you don't have a mother-in-law problem. You have a husband problem. Maybe the mommy's boy needs to take care of his family instead of his mommy's wishes.
She's got 3 sons. She does this to all of them.
I'm sorry?
And she has 3 sons, and she does this to all of them.
Oh, she didn't do anything.
Are they all
She
living
didn't do
there?
anything to him that they didn't let happen. I don't think she's the problem. I think your husband is.
Any boundary you try to set, it immediately devolves into yelling.
Move out. Move out. Tell your husband, I'm leaving. I hope you come too. Me and the kids are getting an apartment. This is untenable.
If she chooses to end the relationship over this, that's on her. It's not on you. But this is not a relationship anyways to begin with.
This is not your mother-in-law's fault. This is your husband's fault. And your fault. You agreed to move in with her, and you knew this before you moved in with her.
Yeah, I thought she'd go home.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You knew this. You knew exactly what you were dealing with, and you chose to ignore it, trying to make a financial deal. We're trying to save $2, and in the middle of it, we're putting up with the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
To save $2. You guys need to go have a life. You and your husband go build a life, and you can love her. She's a lot easier to love from a distance.
You got that right.
Yeah, she needs some distance. But she's not the problem. You and your husband are the problem. You guys just stepped up into a bear trap, and then you're bitching about bear traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So play this out. You get an apartment. She's mad.
I don't even care about her.
That's it.
I mean, she's not relevant in the discussion. You guys need to decide we are going to do things that are smart relationally and smart for our future, and not put ourselves in untenable, toxic situations to save $2. Whether it's working on the house without a contractor's license or buying a house from this woman who's controlling. Why you enter into a deal, why you go along with entering into a deal with this woman to buy a house from her is beyond me. These are people that are best kept at arm's length, not right up close. You know this. Now, you're only 23, so I shouldn't fuss at you. But, you call me and you're all torqued out about her, and I'm telling you, you and your husband can solve this.
Yeah.
But she's still mothering him, and he likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She pays for just about everything.
Well,
And
quit
I tell
taking her
not
money.
to.
I'm not taking your money anymore, and you're not controlling my life anymore. You don't have to be mean about it, but just be kind and just go, listen, we've made some mistakes by setting up our relationship with you early in our marriage, and we're going to have to change that. So here's the thing. We're going to have a little physical separation, a financial separation, and a real estate separation from you. So, Mom, you need to get that house on the market and get it sold. We're not buying it. We're going to go rent an apartment, and we're going to save up some money and get us a house.
Yeah.
It's completely clean. And she's not going to like it, but I'm not taking a poll here. She doesn't get a vote. The problem is you all gave her a vote.
Yeah.
Again, you don't have to be unkind. You just be very firm and just say it. And if it devolves into yelling, that's on her. But I don't put up with people yelling. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, what husband is going to let his 23-year-old wife get yelled at? Come on, man. Tell him to run down to Walmart and pick up a backbone. They're on aisle 3.
Abigail, this is not going to be fun. And what's going to happen when you say all of this to him? If he watched this call back, what would his response be? Would it be, they don't understand, like, it's not like that. She doesn't give me an allowance. It's different. Is that what it would be?
He arguing with the recording, saying, well, we shouldn't get an apartment because we're getting it from my uncle, and what's he going to think?
Stop taking things from your family. There's strings attached, and it doesn't end well.
Yeah.
Start your own life.
That's what I always say.
Don't back out of this deal. Stop taking an allowance. And if you all need to go make more money, then go do that.
The financial incest in this is unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, really.
I don't know what to do,
Well,
I mean,
what you do is you have a marriage problem. You and your husband need to separate from these people far enough that they don't have any apron strings or wallet strings controlling you. Get an apartment.
Yeah.
There's apartments in Charleston, South Carolina, nice ones. Go get you an apartment. And go get a job, he go gets a job, whatever we got to do to make it on our way. We're a young married couple. We don't have any money. We're trying to get started. But you don't have to live under the thumb of the control of these toxic human beings. It needs to stop. You asked, hon, and that's what I'm telling you. But really, you can't blame her anymore after today. If you want to blame somebody, get you a mirror. It's your fault after today.
Those are also at Walmart.
Yeah.
Aisle A4.
Yeah, they're right over next to the backbone aisle, the mirror aisle. Yeah. And you guys got to make some decisions here. Mama don't get to control you unless you allow her to. You're like grown people and stuff. This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personalities, my co-host in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Emmaus and Hannah are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
We're blessed.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Awesome. Welcome to Nashville. And how much debt have you two paid off?
$94,000.
All right. How long did this take?
18 months.
Good for you. Yeah. And your range of income during that time?
Whenever we first started, we were making around $97,000. This year, we'll file taxes around $180,000 to $200,000.
Whoa! What do y'all do for a living?
So I am a nanny, and I'm also a house cleaner. I started that business when I was in debt. So I was cleaning houses, got my clients, and
Good
scrubbing
money.
toilets.
Good money.
From morning to night.
Good money. Good money.
Yes.
And I run a video production company. We film weddings, corporate events, commercials, and my wife helps me as well.
Wow, you guys are working hard.
We try to.
Way to go. What kind of debt was the 94?
See, we had a car for like $37,000, student loans for around $52,000, and an iPhone 12 for $599, which we paid off first.
How long you guys been married?
This December will be 2 years.
Okay, so about the time you get married, you start this stuff. Tell me about it. How'd you get connected up to the Ramsey deal?
So it was a couple months after we got married. We gathered up all our debt, and we said, this isn't going to... We got to get this out of here. And we started listing them from smallest to largest and started paying them off as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We did, because as soon as we got married, I was like, man, we're making all this great income. We have all this money coming in, but the checking account is staying the exact same. Where's it all going? It was going to a stupid dealership. It's going to stupid federal student loan programs. It's going to Verizon. And it was going to all these places. And I said, I work way too hard to have this little money in my checking account. And just like you say, Dave, something had to change in my life so I could actually change something for my future and have more than a couple $1,000 to my name making that much money a year.
Amen. Preach it. How long, how did you guys find us?
One day I followed you on yours on Instagram, and then you were eventually recommended on YouTube. And I was like, man, some of these people are I can definitely relate to. And I was like, man, making all this money, not having a lot of money, or having some of these stresses. I followed you, and then a few months before we got married, we cut up all of our credit cards, and we said, okay, we're done borrowing money. Even though once we started paying off debt, we accidentally fell back into it, and then I had to repent for about the next year because of that. But even throughout that whole process, we just kept on following you on social media and YouTube and love your content. We went to go see you in San Antonio, Texas at your Building Wealth Conference. We led FPU a few years ago, and then also purchased your Financial Coach Master Training to help coach other young people on how to become debt-free and achieve their goals.
Wow, you guys are on fire.
Fully in this thing, man. That's impressive. And along the way, you guys doubled your income. Was that just because you were furious about the debt payoff and then it just kind of stuck?
I got so mad at it, and I said, it has to go. And then, because for example, within our video production company, we film weddings, then we edit weddings, and whenever we were in debt, I said, well, I can make more money editing weddings for other people. So I stayed up late, 11, 12, 1 a.m., sometimes editing for other people. And then once we started doing that, a lot of people started sharing the word about it. And Dave, just like you said, in a small business, if you just show up on time and you do a great job, you won't have any competition. And that's what we started doing. And then we're now starting to hire other contractors to help us throughout the process, and our company grew actually because of the intensity that we achieved through Baby Step 2. So it overall helped our business as well as pay off debt.
Wow. How old are you two?
23.
Wow.
Then I was 22 when we made our last debt payment, just turned 23 last week.
Wow. Congratulations. You guys are heroes. You got the whole rest of your life to live with intentionality and with a big old pile of cash because it's not going to payments.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all are amazing. Very, very well done. All right, financial coach, what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Ever since the beginning, we tithe 10% on our income to our local church, and we're also extremely generous throughout the process. We did tiptoe into baby step 7 sometimes of just being extremely generous throughout the process, because generosity is so much fun, in my opinion. So we kept on tithing 10%. We just we sowed seeds with other organizations and people. So we're extremely generous, but also, I mean, we worked together. If it was, we worked all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. We're generous, but we made sure that we were within communication with each other. We didn't go spend money behind each other's back. We were completely on the same page. I mean, there were some nights I was editing on the couch at 11 p.m. while she was doing editing on her laptop as well. And we worked all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you got no debt and you're 23. And
besides her house,
not waiting on someone else to clean up the mess. Yeah.
No,
exactly.
That's extra weird. See, most 23-year-olds out there, they're going, well, it's the wages. They just don't pay enough these days, so I can't get ahead.
It's the boomers' fault.
It's the boomers.
Because we bought cheap houses.
It's the guy in the White House. And you guys just went, wait, we can go make more money. We're not scared of work. And now you control your own destiny in that way.
I sometimes scrub toilets with her. She was like, hey, man.
Just for fun.
No. She said, man, I have a 3,000 square foot home. I said, I guess I need a pair of gloves as well. I'm helping you. As soon as I close the laptop, I'm picking up the toilet
What's the
scrubber.
average amount you can charge for a house for cleaning?
$150.
That's amazing. It takes a few hours?
Oh, yeah.
She sometimes
3 or 4
did
hours.
2 or 3 in a day.
And then editing. What can you get paid to be editing other people's weddings?
About $500 to $800, and for a wedding video between $3,000 to $5,000.
What does that hourly come out to?
I can do a $500 edit in about 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
So about $100 an hour, something I can do anytime throughout the day, and just work really hard and be generous.
Yeah. So you don't have to just sit and doom scroll. Instead, you edit.
Oh yeah,
we can make $50, $100 just doing these side hustles turned into a business.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. That's right.
That's where money comes from. Amazing.
You got to work.
Yeah. God. I love your parents. I don't know who they are, but I love your parents.
They're right here.
Great job, Mom and Dad. Proof that if you teach a kid to work, you really don't have to teach them much else. So figure it out, you know.
Every parent listening is like, I wish Johnny was more like him.
Yeah, really. The 23-year-old we were talking to a while ago with the mother-in-law issue.
Yes.
Yeah, a whole different 23-year-olds here. This
Hope she's
is a
still
whole
listening.
different thing, man. Amazing. Yeah, well done, you two. Very, very
Impressive.
well done. So proud of you.
Thank
who
you.
was
Thank you
who
so
was
much.
cheering you on as you went?
These lovely people over here.
Moms and dads.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
supporting us through it all, and we.
So they
greatly
think you were a
appreciate
little
them.
craid though.
A little
Sometimes.
bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said,
y'all are a little crazy in
yeah.
such a good way.
They're like, you guys are still editing. You guys are still cleaning houses and babysitting. You should have 2 or 3 cleanings in a day, then babysit at night. And I won't see her all day. So I said, I'll either be bored, I'll miss her, so I might as well work. And we're just working at the same time. And all of a sudden, we just noticed our spreadsheet, baby step 2, just kept on dropping lower and lower and lower. And we said, oh my goodness, we're out of debt. And we actually have money because we're not giving it to people anymore.
Boom, just like that. You guys are fun. Well done. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
What
you.
Neat,
Thank you so
neat young
much.
couple. Your future's so bright. It's unbelievable. Fabulously done. We've got the Live and Give box to give you. That's the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You're going to be there in 20 minutes. You'll be millionaires before you're 30 the way you're going. This is crazy. And Total Money Makeover book as well to give to somebody that's inspired by you, and you are inspiring. And the Financial Peace University membership as well. So very well done, you guys. Wow. Power couple, baby.
I'm impressed.
Mic drop. Emmaus and Hannah, 23 years old, Charlotte, North Carolina, $94,000 paid off in 18 months, making $97 to $200. What's their secret? Work.
All the time.
Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
Yeah! Yeah. Love it. Boom.
I wish I could just bottle their energy and sell it. That's impressive.
Gen Z Red Bull. Right there.
That's all you need right there.
We're gonna call
Talk
it.
to Emmaus and Hannah.
We're going to call it.
I may have just given them their next business idea.
And here's the thing. Somebody's going to watch this and say, well, I don't really want to work that. Well, then don't bitch about not having the results.
Yeah, if you want those
If you
kind of
want the results, you'd put in the time. If you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to practice. You got to play hard. Every down, even between the plays, you got to be working. I mean, it's you don't achieve excellence without getting it. I mean, they got it. Get up, leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home, man. That's
That was the key.
Very powerful.
Nothing's stopping them.
Yeah, unless you're willing to do what they do, don't whine about what they did and what they got. They got out of debt in a short order. As soon as they got married, boom! Just like that. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Isaiah 45:2. I will go before you and will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron. Henry Ford said, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Spoken like a car guy. But it's actually true.
I just kept thinking they had planes back then. That's impressive.
Oh, they didn't. They did by the time he died. Though.
Yeah.
All right. Sean is with us in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Sean. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and George. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my wife and I are looking into kind of upgrading in home. We currently live in 1,500 square feet, and we have 3 kids, 7, 5, and 6 months. And with school choice, looking at the location that we would be moving to, our expenses would be staying the same, but we'd be moving from 1,500 square feet to 4,500 square feet. The question I have is, though, and I guess the kind of concern I have is we'd be taking on more debt for a mortgage, but again, with the school choice, it would allow it to be the same expenses. So
you mean not paying private school?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So we'd be still sending them to private school, but we wouldn't have to pay that expense because of the school choice.
You mean the school has a voucher program?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So you're moving into an area that has a voucher program. You could use that towards your private. It would save you that tuition. Yes. Okay. But your house payment is going to be how much?
The house payment, we're going to do a 15-year. Mm-hmm. It would be $2,500 a month.
And what's your take-home pay?
The take-home pay monthly is $9,300 a month after tax. All of, that's net.
401k coming out before that?
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
I would do this. It fits every guideline we talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I guess the only thing I kind of had like a little hesitation about is like, I guess if it ever, wasn't like that, if they didn't have that policy in place,
So you're moving to a different county, and the county that you're moving to has a voucher program. How long have they had the voucher program?
For over 10 years.
Okay. Do you have anything in the political winds that makes you think it's going to go away?
I don't think that state. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
But, you
can't tell about anything for sure. I'm not saying, but if there's something in the front cover of the newspaper right now, then yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But
correct,
if they've gotten a voucher, as controversial as vouchers have been, if they've gotten it in place and have stuck with it 10 years, they sound like people that are going to stick with it to me.
Yes, yeah. I think it's benefited them greatly.
Yeah, it's probably good. It's probably done what it's supposed to do, which is actually benefit everyone involved. So,
yes.
Yeah, because anyway, moving along from the politics. But financially, I would do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? If the voucher system goes away in 4 years, you can move.
Yeah.
This is a house. It's not permanent. It's not permanent.
Yeah. Yeah. One kind of security thing that I had, like, if it did go away, there's good schools within that county that we could fall back onto if we absolutely had to. Yeah. So I just, was.
And the other thing that's going to happen is let's say it's 5 years from now, 6 years from now, your income will be up.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So we're not dealing with static income.
What's your new mortgage going to be?
$2,500.
What's the loan amount?
Yeah. The loan amount will be right about $300,000.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We might bring it down a little bit more. We have a little more than $100,000 saved to put down on it. I have over $130,000 equity in the house that we currently live in now.
Okay, so you're chunking $230 into it already. The other thing you look up, inside of 10 years, you may have it paid for, but you're not going to need it but for 10 years more. Well, you got the little one, But the school's not forever, but it's.
That's what I kept thinking.
If you get 10 good years out of this, you've knocked most of the issue out. And between your income coming up, paying off the mortgage, or getting close, you got all kinds of options if the thing breaks down out there 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years from now. And that would be only dealing with the baby then.
Yeah, we've seen the average it takes for folks following the baby steps to pay off their mortgage is 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
If they do the 15, so you're going to be right there, man.
It would not surprise me that you were not debt-free in 7 to 10 years, house and everything, which, again, changes the whole equation if the school thing turns upside down on you. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Misty is in Los Angeles. Hi, Misty. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys. How are you? Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How can we help?
I just started listening to you guys a couple months ago. Downloaded your app, getting ready to launch it. I am in quite a bit of debt. I do have a savings. And I wanted to get your advice on, shall I dip into the savings, pay off my debt, kind of like what you guys state with your baby steps?
Sure. Sounds fun to me. How much debt have you got?
I got about $110,000 worth of debt.
And how much in this savings?
I have about $265,000.
Okay. So what would be wrong with writing a check tonight and being debt-free?
The only hesitation I have...
You'd only have $160,000, Misty. I think I'm going to cry.
Wipe your tears with $100 bills.
You know, my thing is that years ago I paid off debt before, and I just got it going. So I'm trying to fix my core because
that's a good reason. I like that reason. Okay.
As silly as it sounds, I mean, I'm smart.
How old are you?
I'm 46 years old. I also own a house, but I don't consider that.
Is it paid for?
Debt. My house is not paid for, and it's kind of funny in a sense. I have two homes. So I have one home I own in Arizona that I'm paying a mortgage on, and my job is in California, so I do rent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's more like a retirement home I've been paying off, but it's in a pretty good shape.
How long would it take you being on a budget on the Every Dollar Budget app that George shows you how to do it? How long would it take you to feel confident that Misty's not going to ever go back into debt?
How long would it take?
I mean, how many months of doing a budget consecutively where you had power over money instead of it having power over you? How long would it take for you to build confidence in Misty?
You know, I don't think very long.
I don't either.
You know, you got me analyzing. I started seeing where my money was going. I started making some serious changes just in this last month after listening to you. Like you said, every dollar, you know.
I think I've been doing this 30 years. I think you're okay. I love that you are concerned about not changing your behavior and going back into the hole. That is a very wise lady that says that. The fact that you said that out loud probably means you're okay because you're attacking this, you're addressing it. The subject is now kind of, it's actually interesting to you for the first time. I'm going to make this stinking money behave so it doesn't all get away from me. I don't like this feeling of chaos and being out of control. I want to be intentional. That's kind of risen up in your throat, hasn't it?
It has. It has. But, you know, my question, you know, right now I take home about $11,500 a month, sometimes $12,000, but my bills are $95,000.
Yeah, but you're debt-free because we just paid it all off.
That'll free up some payments, which is only going to help your budget. And like you said, a budget is just paying attention to your money. And so go sign up for our free webinar we have going on, everydollar.com/budgeting. There's one coming up. Over an hour, we're going to walk you through how to use it. You said you downloaded it, haven't launched it yet.
We're going to give you 3 months free premium, too, to get you started on it. Because I think in 3 months, Misty's going to really feel good about Misty.
It takes 90 days to dial it in.
If you don't write the check the first month, write it the second month. If you don't write the second month, for sure, write it the third month and be debt-free. I think you got this, kiddo. Hang on. We'll help you and get you signed up. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's George Camel. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.